Good morning. It is 1:55 a.m. and today I was taking Mapacho, and due to what's been going on the planet with the coronavirus, as you may know, I'm Jose Thaxton, uh, what I call myself, and I wanted to talk about um, there are gods and demons among us. Now, what am I talking about? Most people might say I'm crazy and I lost it. Um, they can think whatever they want to think. That's their prerogative. That's their problem. That's not my problem. So, why am I saying this confidently and not holding back? Well, a couple months ago, I was in front of the video. You guys know of So he decided to put me in the name, but he said something like, I was looking at soul and stuff, and what I'm able to do, I'm able to tap into other people's timelines and read or look at the past, present, and future. And I can basically astral project my soul, my light out of my body to observe what they're doing, what they're thinking, what's going on. So what I did was I tapped into this guy. The same way fortune tellers can just look at you or read your fate. Some of us are more powerful than others. So what I did was I tapped into this other timeline, other people's timeline, such as mad, bitter, truth, and so on and so forth. So this guy who so-called calls himself Jesus Christ, I tapped into him, and what the repercussions doing that, because depending on who you're tapping into, and you can enter other realms or dimensions. And what I did was I tapped into his frequency and I opened a portal to another world. And so as I was observing, I was able to see what he was seeing. He was very powerful, and yeah, he went but he was part of the system, and he wasn't. Let's just say he's part of the dark side. When I took from this, I didn't know the repercussions that would come with it, and this was, I believe, I was probably still in Maine. Well, here, yeah, I was still in Maine because I remember feeling after I told my friend I felt like I was being upgraded. Like there was a bunch, so my head had plates on it, and there were a bunch of cords connected to my brain, and it was being yanked out. I was pulling them out, and I could feel steam coming out of my brain, my head, like a robot. Due to this, all of a sudden, I felt this fear in my chest. I felt like I was so scared. And I'm like, why am I feeling so scared? Why am I scared? Why do I feel this way? And turns out, I got a visit. Like I said, there are gods and demons among us, entities, whatever you want to call them. This is my experience, and I feel like I should speak my mind, speak the truth, speak what I'm going through, because others can be going through the same thing I'm going through. So, what happened was, I'm not sure it was which one of them attacked me, but it was a bunch of them. There was reapers who came, deities, entities who were very powerful. I was on top planet Earth, and there was Inky and Leo, his whole family. They came, and there was other people around. Now at this time, I was like about to, about to have a panic attack because one, I know who these people are, and two, I can feel like my body was like losing control. So I tried to shield myself with white light. But I was freaking out. I was scared because I could feel it. Like, you know, when you're about to get into a fight or something bad's about to happen, and you start to fight or flight mode. That's how I was feeling, and this was all happening in my dreams. And they came up to me and said, "So who is this? Who is this person? Is came for? He doesn't look that important." And I think Inky and Lee said one of them. I don't know which one is which. I couldn't differentiate. They said to me, "You think you're very smart and you think you're very slick, but you're a nobody." And one of them said, "This nobody, just tapped into someone's timeline, or he might be trouble, and we need to deal with him. Deal with mean to kill him." So as I'm there, and I was able to pull the tools, the weapons. So these animation characters such as Dragon Ball Z, video games, so on and so forth, I was able to pull the weapons that I was imagining in my mind and in my body to bring them to reality, because I knew it was going to be a fight. And so it was a couple of them who came after me. It was a dungeon, and before I went on planet Earth, it was a dungeon, and it was a bunch of their goons I was fighting off. and they said, "You're pretty strong." All of a sudden, I was on planet Earth, and they said to me, he can be a problem. We need to pay close attention to him. And for months on, that was going on. Um, and I got into a fight, and Enki and Leah, one of them, they took a huge sword, a blade, and I was standing like this, like ready to fight. It was it was live or die moment, and I ran into battle, and we were fighting, and I was like bloody, and I was like on the brink of death. Around that time, before they were coming to me, the parasites that were in my body, there are entities and and things that live in your body that control your mind, how you think. It sucks your energy, so it can keep you in a low frequency, and it can keep you at a low state. Most of your life that you live, you will think that it's your own, but it's not your own. And it took a long time for me to deprogram myself and to come to the realization who I am and why I'm on this earth. And just putting out videos, just being alive is a risk, because it comes with a lot of things. And just coming to this dimension itself, because most of us, or some of us, we are very special, and we are very important to the whole game. We just forgot who we are. Now, I'm going off topic, but you understand why I'm saying this. So before the fight, the parasites were talking like, "Okay, you go first. No, you go first." Like, because this is how it works. There's different entities and beings on the planet. Let's say you're a demon, or let's say you're an entity, whatever you are, right? There are higher and more powerful, more darker demons than you. So something like that, let's say Inky and Leah comes up to you, and they know that the host is in danger and is about to die, right? They're going to protect their host, because if they don't, all of them are going to be taken out. So what was happening, the entities were afraid. I can feel their fear, and I can feel what they were feeling inside. And they were shitting in their pants. Like, I can see them, the image in my mind. I could see what they look like. And they was having a conversation around the table saying, "No, you go first. No, you go first. No, I'm like," they were so scared. And so as I was fighting Inky or Enlil, the whole group, even the mother came. It was a bunch of them surrounding me, because they wanted to take me out, because there's information out there that people are not supposed to know, and that they are not supposed to be aware of. So that's why a lot of things in my life, I've been going through a lot in my life, and been confused, and been lost, and been struggling. As I was fighting Inky or whoever, I was strong enough to cut off one of his arm. I believe his left arm, and he was screaming in pain. He was in pain, and I forgot how it ended, but they basically said they threatened me, that they would keep an eye on me, and that we cannot leave this person unchecked, because he's very sneaky, and he will be a problem in the future. So yeah, so when after a couple months fast forward, I told my friend about this, and we talk about this, you know, off and on. And today he made a video about it. In the video, if you watch the video, Triple Cross is the YouTuber. In the video, he mentioned it, and I got so scared, and I started to tear up, cry. He didn't notice, but I was upset, because I'm like, is he gonna put that out there? Like, you don't know how scared I was Like, why would you put that out there? I didn't say it to him, but like tonight as I was taking the mapacho, I felt like, and deep down my soul was telling me, you know, you're stronger than that, but I still felt the fear. Like, I felt it, because I know how powerful these beings are, and I know how dark they are, and they will not hesitate to kill you. And if I did not change my diet, or was not fasting, or haven't taken ayahuasca, iboga peyote, San Pedro, frog medicine, um, iboga peyote, ayahuasca, and others, mushrooms and LSD. I've taken a bunch of things. Um, I wouldn't. I'm 100% sure I probably would have been dead that night, because these beings were not playing. They don't play, especially when someone is trying to take the system down, um, rogue. Because once upon a time, I was a part of the dark side, and I will get into stories like that. My past lives, I remember uh, my past life, and I remember a lot of things and a lot of bad things I've done. So for me to go against them and to fight them, have a spiritual battle against a bunch of these entities, but some of the most powerful ones, um, that's not an easy thing to do. So if I don't condone um, people to challenge these beings, because they're very strong, I would say spiritually wake up and gain as much inner light, inner power that you can. Um, Even if you're not awake, if they know who you are, they're gonna make your life a living hell. And when you wake up, you become more dangerous. Uh, it's been a long time. I should have been making videos since I was 16. Uh, but I was too scared, and I was too afraid of what people may think, what I would lose, because I've lost a lot of things in my life. I lost a lot of people in my life. I've had a lot of near-death experience in the past year itself. So I'm just putting this information out there. I was trying to convince myself today that what happened wasn't real. It was all my imagination. I was lying. But when I knew I was crying, when I felt the tears coming down my face, and I felt the fear in my chest, I knew it was real, because you can't make certain things up, especially when you have the fear, especially when you feel the tears. You can't make that up, you know? You can lie to yourself all you want. You can convince yourself things are not real. But when you're going through it, and the pain that you feel inside, no one cannot tell you that's not real, because you know yourself better than anyone else. So, yeah, there's a bunch of things that goes on, especially in the spiritual realm, especially um, in your dreams when you go to sleep. You think that you're just sleeping. No, you're going to other realms. You're exploring different things, and you're trying to see what's going on in the universe. And it's very important to regain pieces of yourself that you lost. It's very important for you to remember your past lives. With memory comes healing. If you cannot remember who you are, if you cannot remember your past, how can you have a better future? If you cannot remember, how will you heal? That's why memories is important. And that's why every time we are reincarnated, we come back to life. We forget everything. And that's very dangerous. Because if you forget things, if you forget everything, you can make the same mistakes for 1,000 years and not remember. Do you know how dangerous that is? Just imagine you come into a world and the AI wipes everything off the planet. People are dying left and right, and people are being killed. And you coming back to that world, and you're doing things that keeps you in a low conscious state, and you're killed off, and you come back over and over again, and you don't remember who you are. And in one lifetime, you come back and you ask yourself, who am I? And you start to question, and you start to go against everything. So I'm putting this information out to help anybody who wants to wake up, who sees the world differently than everybody else, even when people think you're crazy, you're nuts, and you're insane. It's the crazy ones, or the ones who are different, that change the world, that makes things better. It's not the ones who are quote unquote normal, or quote unquote the same like everyone else. Um, so keep that in mind. Um, those who are open enough, who are more loving enough, and who are lighter inside, this will resonate with you. Others may not. That's okay. They will remember when shit hits the fan, when shit gets so bad in the real world that they will have no choice, or they will have to accept that there's a world that beyond the physical five senses: touch, smell, scent, and sight. And your sixth sense, the light that's inside. Um, so that's one of tonight. That's what I wanted to say. I'm going to be talking about more things about my past, spiritual but supernatural. This world I'm seeing more is stranger than fiction. We are living in the twilight zone, and we don't know it. And we think that this world is everything that is, and we think that this world is the greatest thing, and we can just go around living however we want, doing whatever we want without any consequences. And there are consequences for your actions. You know, I've suffered a lot to understand, to learn how to change. And to change is not easy, and to stick with it, and to push on. I've seen it's been very difficult for me, because there's a lot of trickery in yourself. You'll be pushed not to do it. You'll be pushed to be like everyone else because it's easier. But you understand, in the end, if you stay the way that you are, actually it will be harder, because you will lose more. You lose yourself, you lose your sanity, and you will end up becoming lost, and you will fall like everyone. And so this is why I'm on this path, and this is why I choose to put out a video out, and to speak my mind, and speak my truth, speak what I went through, to help others just like you and just like me to leave this game called life, to go home. I remember taking ayahuasca, and one of the things I kept saying, I want to go home. I want to go home. I'm tired. I want to go home. And I've been here for a long time. I'm very old. Just because I look young doesn't mean I'm young. I'm very old. And, yeah. On that note, peace and love, and I hope this is able to help people, or help anyone, whoever's listening, whoever's seeking help, because this will be very crucial to you being free. And there's such thing as enslavement, and there's such thing as an infinite amount of pain. On that note, peace.